Good morning, everybody. Good morning. I'd like to call this meeting to order now. Welcome to the Tuesday, December 5th meeting of the Milwaukee County Board Committee on Parks, Energy, and Environment. I'm your friendly chairman, Supervisor Haas, joined by most of my colleagues today. Supervisor Nicholson, I believe, will be excused from today's meeting. She's recovering after a minor car crash involving an inattentive driver. So, folks, put your cell phones away as you drive, please. Thank you. I believe she's doing okay. Thank you. Yeah. We also wish to welcome are you acting Parks Director? Guy Smith. Welcome, Guy. He gets a whole new vantage point on the committee meeting today.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. And Madam Coordinator, would you please call the roll to establish a quorum?
Supervisors Nicholson,
Excused for the meeting.
Taylor from the ninth.
Aye. I'm here.
Sebring.
Here.
Wasserman. Here. And Mr. Chairman,
Here.
we have 4 members present. We have a quorum.
Fantastic. Please call item number 1.
Item 1, from the Director, University of Wisconsin, Milwaukee County Cooperative Extension, UW Extension, requesting authorization to execute a professional services contract in the amount of $180,772 between Milwaukee County and UW Extension for professional staffing services for the period effective January 1st, 2018 through December 31st, 2018.
And we are joined at the table by UW Extension, Milwaukee County UW Extension Director Eloisa Gomez. Welcome.
Thank you, Chairman Haas and members of the Parks, Energy, and Environment Committee. I'm pleased to be here today to inform you of our professional services contract, which was part of the 2018 budget approved by the county board. And this is a process in which we share that we enter into this contract, which pertains to support for largely for academic staff positions, educator positions, which work in the community in a variety of ways that include 4-H youth development, family living, particularly financial literacy. We also have it in the area of horticulture, education, and community development. So these educators are working in this capacity, either themselves or through a large cadre of volunteers that expand educational awareness and knowledge in the community. This is an annual contract that we've had long-standing with the county board, and we're pleased to be here to answer any questions that you have. I wanted to just alert you to the high value of extension, and I wanted to bring up the,
Try restarting your computer.
I'm sorry, is that here?
Well, sometimes it works for me.
I think we were going to have the, some of you have seen this already. It's our list of community partners. I'm not sure if that made it. I know my assistant was ill today, but so maybe I can just pass this along to staff. And I know that some of the members of the Finance Committee have seen this already, but thank you. Wanted to make that available to you to show you and to emphasize the value of the financial support that the county board provides to UW Extension. It is supplemented by a variety of private sector and other public sector support that comes in. For example, our food and nutrition program called FoodWise brings in over $600,000 annually to this community, in which we focus largely on low-income individuals, and that would include seniors and young people. We're in the Milwaukee Public Schools and other schools throughout Milwaukee County. We're in senior centers. So we're providing, I think, a very good value to the support provided by Milwaukee County. So I want to just reference the value of the contract, as well as to maybe just emphasize, because we have, some of you may know, we have been going through some changes on the UW Extension end. We will, in July, be affiliated with UW-Madison. It does not change the kind of partnership that Extension has with the 72 counties in Wisconsin. That does not change. We will continue to provide the same level of services to you as we have over the many years that we've been associated with county government. And I'd be glad to answer any questions that you might have.
Supervisor Wasserman.
Thank you, Chairman. Director Gomez, is this the same amount for the contract as it has been in the previous years, or is this going up, or?
Let's see, it is a 0.75 reduction over last year, based on the 2018, over the 2017 budget.
But how did you arrive at a reduction in costs? I mean, it sounds great. I'm complimenting you. How did that happen?
For 2018, what we're going to do in terms of reducing our costs will be our move to a different location, which will reduce
That's why the
our
contract is down?
expenses. I'm sorry, that's the overall budget specific to the professional services contract. Thank you, sorry, I didn't catch that initially. There has been, the original request when it came in was for $191,000, which was an increase of approximately $11,000 over last year. However, one of our horticulture agents of 20-some years is going to be retiring, so Extension prorated that amount, and that's how we come up with this number.
Got it. I also have to tell you, we're right now in campaign season. Nominations papers have to be completed by my colleagues if you want to stay in office, and over the weekend, I collected my signatures. I collected 350 signatures, and I have to tell you, UW Extension was brought up multiple times during the days I was out. I heard so much about what services you offered. I cannot tell you the lobbying effort that was put on by your department. It was, I heard this, and then I also have to tell you, I had a lady in labor who was, as she was pushing, talked about her husband. She didn't sign the papers, that's very funny. But she talked about her husband is a farmer, and he farms your land, and he has like 1 acre. He has started his own community stuff, and she was telling me how important, and he sat there, and she was telling me how I have to continue to support it. I have never seen such dedicated volunteers and supporters of your department. So constantly I've heard about the value, and also my surveys I just went out, they talked about, they actually write in about how wonderful UW Extension is. And I have to tell you, I don't think there has been a single department in all Milwaukee County that has gotten such strong, I've received such a strong response from yours. So good job.
I just want to thank you so much for hearing that. And, we have no PR budget other than encouraging people to understand how we receive our funds, because oftentimes people don't understand that. And I want to mention that you brought up something very important, which is we actually have a very small team of educators. It's the volunteers that we train who go out and educate and do the work that's critical. The last thing I want to mention, because we have Guy Smith here, and we have a wonderful, wonderful partnership with County Parks. The micro farmer that you mentioned, people are really grateful to have access to county land to be able to garden, and sometimes it's only a 20 by 20 plot, but that's important to some of our families. So I'm really glad to hear the good feedback that you've received, and it really comes from their hearts.
Oh, it was more than just her heart. She was talking about her husband's life. He doesn't have a man cave, he doesn't have a hobby, but all he wants to do is farm. He has a regular job, he has 1 acre, he farms it, he sells the goods all the way around Milwaukee. I've heard this is amazing how your volunteers are so pumped up about what you're doing, so good job.
Thank you very much.
Well, Director, as the impartial chairman of this meeting who sees to the normal and orderly conduct, I would almost be tempted to slide the gavel aside just to go on at length about what I think is the great work that the extension does. And I know you're throughout the 14th district and in the neighboring districts, at 6th and Howard, to the north of Howard there, up in, not Copernicus, Cupertino Park, to the north of the district. That's just the south side. But so that's where the gardens are. But I know the education that you provide a lot of my constituents that I don't, there's folks we hear from regularly, quite a bit, and there's folks we hear from maybe once a year when we get these nice little cards in the mail where they talk about the value of UW Extension. And it could be the nutrition programs or the gardens or what have you. So I have a growing stack of those as well. So I will concur with the supervisor from the 3rd district on his wise and eloquent commentary. Supervisors, are you interested in a motion?
Move to approve.
All right. Comments from my colleagues? Seeing none, evidently we have a motion to approve. Madam Coordinator, just kindly call the roll.
On the motion that item number 1 be recommended for adoption, Supervisors Taylor from the 9th,
Aye.
Sebring,
Aye.
Wasserman,
Aye.
and Mr. Chairman.
Aye.
4 ayes, 0 noes, the motion prevails.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Director. May Extension have another great year of helping the public.